strap on your astrology hats and lather up your shower mittens, because your two favorite ADHD-addled adults are emerging from their puddle of ducks stronger than ever and ready to fucking podcast like never before. This episode, we're welcoming you back into the wet with a mini lesson on what Mercury Retrograde is and how it impacts communication, followed by a rapid-fire recall recap of what we've covered so far in previous episodes. In between, your friendly neighborhood freak Grace gets back to her beloved bone hobby and tries to convert you to Flat Earthicism. Gray Kristin sets a boundary at work and rants about planets. And we combine our powerhouse voices in perfect harmony to bring you ballads so moving, you'll be left saying, another one. Whether you're a new listener or you've fallen off the horse wagon and need a place to jump back in, you'll find everything you need to catch back up with our bullshit, Rat Kings and all.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather, weirds of a feather.
Caw-caw! All right.
Okay.
Do you want to get into it? Get going? Get started?
Yeah, loosen up your mouth sounds and stuff. I got loose mouth sounds. Your mouth sounds are the loosest.
Thank you.
Mine are quite tight.
You got those
in the worst
tight
way.
mouth sounds. Damn, those are some tight mouth sounds.
Her mouth sounds are tight. Tight.
But not in a cool way, not like tight. It's like they're tight. They're too tight.
They're too tight. Loosen up. Loosen up that mouth of yours.
Get loose.
Get loose. Get weird.
All right. What's the deal? What are we doing here?
I don't know how to get into it.
I guess the best way to
get into the wet.
You don't know how to transition to that wet?
Yeah.
And really, the wet is just starting this podcast.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to get into the wet.
One way we could start it could be that I could say, welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Grace.
And I'm your host, Kristin.
What do you think about that?
That's great.
We could do that?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right. Should we go back and do it again, or have we already done it?
Let's, for good measure, let's just get into it.
I was going to say, I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
So I agree. Glad we're on the same page.
Yeah. All right. Grace, you did something this weekend.
I did do something. Oh, yeah. Welcome into the podcast, by the way. We're going to go right into our...
We're already in the wet.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I was just kind of like introducing everyone to the wet. Like, here's the wet. Here's the wet. There's some more wet over there. There's a bar of soap.
Here's a loofah.
Yeah. So I just didn't know if we needed to do any like loofah
instructions. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
All right. Now that you've had your loofah instructions,
exfoliate.
You probably want to put soap on there.
You could. You don't have to.
You just dry exfoliate?
Dry. I don't. My skin is too sensitive for the dry exfoliation. Some people do that dry brushing.
Yeah, some people do that, and other people don't.
Do you loofah?
I occasionally loofah. It kind of grosses me out, though, because I feel like there's a lot of germs growing in there. But part of me is like, who cares?
Germs are good. They're good for you.
Sometimes you need
them.
That
natural resistance. You know what I have? I don't have a loofah. I have those like scrubby mittens that I wear.
Ooh, scrubby mittens.
I like the scrubby. One, you can wash the scrubby mittens. Two, you get the bar of soap and you just kind of like squeeze it all in, and then I recommend scrubby mittens for the shower.
All right. Thank God we covered that. And now I can officially tell you about my weekend.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear about it.
We still haven't actually said anything.
Yeah.
We're in the wet. We're already soaped up.
We're soaped.
And
ready to rinse off. So.
Well, not quite yet, though. We got to keep soaping.
We are pushing this metaphor to the limit.
We always do.
Yeah.
Yes, this
Tell
weekend.
Tell me about your weekend. I need to know. I'm excited to hear about it.
Well, I think you will be excited to hear about it. And I think our listeners, especially those who enjoyed our butt pop, butt music bracket of April
butt pop
Anarchy.
versus butt rock, butt music bracket, the best of the butt. April Anarchy butt bracket.
All right, what's that acronym? The A, B. There's a lot of B's in there.
There's a lot of B's.
Yeah. There's like 12 B's in there.
Yeah.
Yes. So as I was saying, this weekend, Grace, it's me, saw the one and only Jesse McCartney.
Whoa.
In concert.
Whoa.
$30 tickets.
Nice. I think Jesse McCartney, he made it okay in the butt bracket. He lost to Ashley Simpson, tough
loss.
Which is a tough loss. I think I got to go back and re-watch the TikToks, but I'm pretty sure it was either the Duff, Hillary Duff, or Ashley Simpson, both two top-notch butt performers.
You know what, Jesse? You're butt, but you're not butt enough.
Not butt enough.
And I just want to say, I think everyone should get themselves a friend who will see that Jesse McCartney is coming into town and buy the both of you tickets to the show before even confirming that you want to go, because she just knows in her heart that you do. And
that was not me.
No, that was not you. You are not that friend for me.
I am not that
You're
friend
a different
for you.
type of friend.
Yeah.
You're lots of things to me as a friend.
Who was this friend?
This friend was Kylie.
Oh!
Kylie is that friend for me.
Oh my gosh.
Kylie Queen / Kylie Keen / Kylie Lowe. Is officially her name, I guess.
Mentor.
/ one of my closest friends. Yep.
/ the podcaster of Dark Down East.
Yes, from Dark Down East.
We should probably promote her stuff, you know.
Yeah. I feel like we've promoted her plenty. I mean, people, if anything, she should promote us. We need the help and she doesn't.
Any promotion is a good promotion, kind of.
Yeah. Keep that in mind, Kylie.
Yeah.
Yes, Kylie is my concert-going friend. We have seen a lot of concerts together. Some of them dorky, some of them cooler. It's about a 50-50 mix. We have seen Aaron Carter together. O-Town, as I've talked about. But then we've also seen like Andrew McMahon / Jack's Mannequin from...
Lots of butt. So you guys
not Andrew McMahon.
I don't know who that is.
From Jack's Mannequin. I just want to make sure he's not grouped into the butt. Andrew McMahon is not butt. I need that on record. He's not butt.
Okay.
He's not butt.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Well, then just trust me when I say.
All right.
Anyways,
I trust your judgment.
Kylie was this friend of mine. We saw Jesse McCartney at the State Theater here in Portland.
Oh, the State. I didn't even know it's still open.
Yeah, I guess so. It wasn't a packed house. There was a small but very vocal group of mostly probably girls who, I guess, have never stopped listening to Jesse McCartney, and they weren't just there for the nostalgia.
Why stop a good time?
True that. Just keep it rocking. And they have seemingly followed Jesse McCartney for the rest of his apparent music career that's been going on, and they knew all of his like new songs that were like going to be on his new album. So he has some dedicated fans out there that never left, and I'm happy for them. And it was a fun little time. He looked like a fancy little disco man up there. He was just like doing Jesse, you know? He was having a great time. He was kind of like he was kind of a little jokey about how he is kind of a little silly figure in the music world, you know?
Sure.
He was like a child
he's
boy band star. Yeah, he's kind of embracing the fact that he's a little butt.
Dream Street, right?
Baby down on Dream Street. He was in Dream Street. Yes, the child.
It happens every time
when I see you.
It happens every time
when I think of you. It happens every time. It's magic when we three. Baby down on Dream Street.
Yeah, that's Dream Street. Okay.
I'll probably cut most of that out once I listen to that back. Unless I really hit those high notes, and then I'll believe it.
You did.
You guys can see my vocal
You can just trust me on this one. You hit all of them.
All right, I believe you.
Ones I didn't even know were there.
Yep, that's me.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyways, that was my weekend. To sum it all up, it was pretty much exactly what I expected from a Jesse McCartney concert at age almost 32.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, he's got a nice little voice on him, you know?
Yeah.
I gotta give it to Jesse.
He's a good singer.
Yeah, just a cute little guy.
Yeah, cute little disco man.
Yeah, fancy.
All right. Well, today, so when we're not chatting about Jesse McCartney, I think we have to clear the air. We have to do some housekeeping.
All right.
Housekeeping. Let's talk about some stuff. Today's episode is going to be a little odd, a little off. We took a couple of weeks off from recording to kind of reformat our episodes. and it kind of aligned with Mercury Retrograde, which was convenient, I guess.
Yes, it has been nice to not have to edit during the Mercury Retrograde.
Right. So we took a couple. So we're going to talk about how we reformatted. We're going to quickly talk about Mercury in retrograde. And then, Grace, you also wanted to do like a quick little recap of some highlights from our previous episodes for listeners who have fallen behind, for someone who's getting overwhelmed. I guess we do a lot of jokes referring back to previous episodes. And maybe you're behind. Maybe you're like, I'm not going to listen to all of these. Maybe you just forget. So this is a little catch-up episode.
And also for new listeners who are jumping in to the podcast or who just discovered us, and maybe you don't necessarily want to start from the very beginning. You just want to like get in on this fun that we're having right now in the current moment.
Maybe you like to jump around. Some people don't like to listen in order. And this, you don't necessarily have to listen to this podcast in order, but this might be nice to catch up. So in case we do refer back to a previous episode.
And also this way, maybe you just start here and then you just continue and you don't listen to our first couple of episodes.
That's totally fine.
And that would, kind of be nice because then you just think that we've been this great at podcasting the whole time.
The whole time.
And you'll never know otherwise.
Yep. You wouldn't have to listen to that
Look
first
at us,
episode.
Naturals from the very beginning.
Yep. This is day one.
So comfortable on mic.
Day one, round two.
Yep. Yes, so that is all coming up, but first,
do you want to get into your little accomplishment?
Yeah, let's do it. Little accomplishments, but big in our hearts.
With every segment, there's a song, and that was our first song for a little accomplishment, which is one of the segments that we do every episode because we think it's important.
And fun.
Yep. I have a little accomplishment.
Please tell me.
I, Kristin, set a boundary at work.
Ooh.
Set a boundary.
Woohoo! That is a big accomplishment.
Yeah, you want to know what it was?
Nah.
Okay.
Anyways, my accomplishment. No, of course I do.
I want to tell you because it's important.
All right, then tell me.
I was the only physician assistant on our team working one day because everybody else had the day off except for me. I was a lone wolf.
Can I just interrupt? It's actually physician's associate.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Please use the correct terminology.
Thank you for correcting me.
You're welcome. That's what
Even though my badge still says physician assistant. Yes, we've changed the terminology. Thank you for remembering. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. You should probably remember
I am
over
a
me.
PA.
There you go.
So I was the only PA on board, lone wolf. We had a bunch of surgeries because isn't it fun when surgeons book 6-hour surgeries on a Friday?
TGIF.
Yeah, TGIF. Hope you like to stand for a long time. Only physician assistant there. People had to be discharged. We had to get people out of the hospital. We had to get people into the hospital. There's a lot of stuff going on. And then I was also asked to do something called a peer-to-peer review, which is basically when you call the insurance company and beg them to approve something or pay for something that needs to be done. It's very annoying. Because isn't it great where we live in a society where insurance dictates healthcare?
Yeah, I love that they're the ones making the calls. They know best.
Yep, they know best. Haven't met the
business
patient.
degrees.
Yep. Anyway, and I said, no, I will not be able to do that. Because not only, so feisty because I never do this. But what happened is multiple people called and like the person who's supposed to do it isn't available, which sometimes happens and it's super annoying. They're like, you must call us back within 24 hours. They give you a stupid deadline and then you call back within 24 hours and they're like, well, that person isn't there. So 2 people call back and then it's Friday, I'm by myself and they're like, you need to do this today because it has to be approved today because of the deadline. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. 2 people have called back. I literally don't know where you want me to call from the OR. Like, I don't know when you want me to call the insurance company and wait for 20 minutes on hold just to talk with someone who's not even there.
That also seems like it shouldn't be your job to do that.
I could talk about this for hours.
Great, let's do it.
Let's do
let's dive into that, Kristin.
Let's not. It's very annoying. And I just said, no, I cannot. I am one person. 2 people have tried and failed. We've both documented this. This is not our fault for this person who's not getting this test approved. And it sucks because in the end, it delays patient care. But I am one person and I cannot be in 5 places at once. So I set a boundary.
Good job.
Yep.
I am proud of you, especially because a lot of ADHDers have the people-pleasing deep inside us.
That is me.
And we feel like we always have to accommodate everyone. Not me personally, but lots of you out there. You.
Yeah. Not you, but me.
With some things I do. With other
Yeah.
things, I just like truly don't give a fuck. So
yes.
it depends.
I think at one point, like in college, I think you've come out of your people-pleasing shell.
Thank you.
Anyway, what was your accomplishment?
My accomplishment was pretty much the exact same thing as your accomplishment.
Yeah, you had to call someone's insurance company and beg them?
Close. I dug a bunch of animal bones out of my death pit and I cleaned them off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so pretty much the same thing.
Pretty much. Yeah. No, that's great. It's always nice to like get back to a hobby that you've been neglecting.
Yeah, it's always good to just like take care of some things that are important to you.
Yeah, like your dead bones.
Yes. Dead bones.
My dead bones.
My dead bones. I cleaned them.
Yeah,
Clean
that
dead
sounds like a
bones.
children's book coming out this summer.
Does it?
My dead bones.
Yeah, it's really dark and morbid. If you're raising little dark weirdos, which you should.
Yep.
Raise your kids dark. It's my parenting advice.
Yeah, from a non-parent.
Yes.
From one non-parent to a parent.
Yes, please take my advice.
Yeah.
Hey, I work with a lot of kids and kids always love me. So
Yeah.
I must be doing something
Well,
right.
I love you.
Thank you.
And I
Aw.
have the maturity of a child, so.
Yeah, pretty much
Yeah,
the same
there you
thing.
go.
I was considering you one of those kids.
Yeah.
I had put a few different animal carcasses. Oh, by the way, if you're just joining this podcast, I'm not a serial killer. I like to find animals that have already died, whether by nature, a vehicle, a lightning bolt. I find them. I put them in a death pit in my yard. And
Mystery murder.
Mystery murder.
That's the best one.
Who knows? But I'm not killing them. Well, it's not the best one. I don't want animals to be mystery murdered. I want them to just, well, I'd like for them to be alive, but if they have to die.
You forage these carcasses.
Yes,
you're
I
not
forage for
actively
carcasses.
killing. You're not killing animals. You're finding them and then you're using their bones.
You could say I'm a product killer, not a process killer, except I'm not a killer.
You're not a killer.
But I do like the product. Don't kill for me, please.
Anyway,
yes.
So you forage for bones and then you use them in art and
I
you
like to
clean
display them in my house to make guests leave my house.
Yeah, it
And
works.
So I put them in the death pit and then all the flesh gets eaten away and then it's just animal bones, but then you have to wash them off and then you have to let them sit in hydrogen peroxide for a few days so they whiten up. Don't actually use bleach and don't boil your bones. It'll boil the fat into them and yellow them.
Oh.
So you just soak it in hydrogen peroxide for a couple of days in the sun and that'll lighten them up and then you have nice clean animal bones that you can display or do whatever you please with.
It sounds like this should be on one of our other segments called Hobby Collectors in the near future.
Yes, that's a good call.
I think we need to talk about these bones more. I want to know more about the bones.
Oh, I'll bone ya. Yeah, I'll teach everyone my very intricate process, and then you too can become your friendly neighborhood freak.
Can become a boner.
Yeah, oh yeah, and we'll just be boners together. So, anyways, I've been meaning to clean these animal bones for a very long time, and I haven't gotten to it, and I finally did it, and now they're nice and clean and drying in my bathroom.
Nice.
Yep,
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
They look really cool.
Maybe we'll post a picture.
Those are some cool skulls you got.
Oh, yeah, my dad mailed me a weird skull from Florida.
What is a strange thing to mail?
I was psyched
I
to
wonder
get
if
it.
that's like, isn't that on the like, you know when you mail a package and they're like, do you have any lithium batteries or liquids? I wonder if they have one for, is this a dead animal carcass?
I think it's more like human remains. Probably you can't do that.
But animals are okay.
Yes. Although they do transport human remains, but maybe you need a special...
You have to get a special waiver.
Oh, you must know. Yeah.
You've got to go to the special waiver office to make
And you
the
say,
special...
one special waiver, please.
One special waiver to mail a dead body.
One body waiver, please.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we transition?
Yeah, let's transition over to... I want to talk more about new formatting.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Hold on to your socks, everyone.
Yep. We are talking formats. We are talking Excel spreadsheets and algorithms and...
Are we?
No, we're not. I wish we were. But
I don't.
yeah. So once
let's go.
again, we just wanted to say thanks for bearing with us for our listeners and hello there to our new listeners. We took off a couple of weeks to figure out how to reformat our episodes. Turns out we talk a lot and our episodes are getting like 2 hours long per episode, which is too much. That's too much for your ear holes, and we care about your ear holes, so we didn't want to do that.
And also you made the very good point that we record our episodes as if we have like a full team of like editors and producers.
There's like 3 people in the room with us that are just on like sound record. It's just us.
It's just us. It's just us.
It's just us. It's me and Grace.
It's
and
way
mostly
too much.
Grace. It's too much. We were getting a little burnt out and we didn't want to do that anymore. But we also didn't want to really cut content. So we had to take a couple weeks off to kind of like figure it out. And to be honest, we didn't really make any changes.
Well, we made some changes.
We are keeping our segments. We're keeping our ADHD learning corner, and we're keeping our bagel bites.
That is absolutely right, Kristin. And you better prep those mouths for our bagel bites, our hot little bagel bites.
Yep.
Hot bagel bites.
Prep those mouths. We didn't want to cut any hard-hitting content like the great fanny pack versus foam shoot debate.
Or our horse train meet cute Christmas rom-com.
No, we cannot cut that out.
It's necessary.
Right, exactly. So we decided to break up our episode content into more biteable bits, which I don't know if biteable is a real word.
It is now.
All right. One day we will talk mostly about ADHD. Another day will be all segments. And we're still saving our bagel bites to be like this grab bag of ambiguous fun.
Yes, so it'll be like we are taking our long-ass episodes that we normally do and like we're splitting them up into 2 different parts.
To make it more biteable.
Yes, because we have found that when we sit down to record, we just like to talk for a bunch of hours in a row once we get going.
Yep.
And so we figured we can't really stop our flow. No one can stop our flow.
No one can stop our flow.
It can't be stopped, So instead, why don't we keep that flow?
All of the Playtex tampons in the world would not be able to stop our flow.
Absolutely not. Also, that reminds me that I bought a new kind of like organic tampon and it's called like L brand, but literally the label says like L stands for love is like their slogan.
Love
like,
your tampons?
Yeah.
I don't want to love my tampons.
How is love related?
I don't want to love.
I
hate feminine products are always labeled
the branding
like,
of it.
Love yourself and care about the earth. Like, I just.
Like, imagine that for a toilet paper brand.
Right. I'm in horrible pain.
Fall in love with your toilet paper.
Right.
Wipe your asshole.
Wipe your
with
asshole
romance.
On this.
Romance your butthole with this gorgeous
Can you feel the love
paper.
On your butthole?
Let it whisk you away to a gentler place.
I feel like we just discovered our new commercial topic. Although I didn't want to talk about poop all day, but here we are.
Sorry, that was me. I brought that in there. Where was I? Oh, I was talking about tampons.
Your flow.
Oh, that's how we got here. Thank you.
Of course.
And now the flow is taking us here.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to keep going on our flow, and then we're just going to split our episodes up into 2 different parts.
Make it a little bit more tolerable for you.
Yes. For you, the listener, and for us, for me, the editor.
Yeah. Works for everybody. And it took us a whole 2 weeks to do that.
Yep. And that's about it.
Yep. The entire Mercury Retrograde. Speaking of which, how was your Mercury Retrograde?
It's been terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Tell me about yours, because mine was bad.
I've just been very emotional.
Yeah.
I have felt just very drained energy-wise. Actually, Ian and I had 2 major miscommunications the first 2 days of Mercury Retrograde.
Oh, no.
We got into back-to-back very stupid fights over just the stupidest shit.
I hate that.
Yeah. And then I was like, you realize that we just fought for the immediate day Mercury Retrograde started. We were getting in these dumb bickering fights. And
Fucking
so that kind of
Mercury.
Yeah. So that kind of broke the tension to at least understand what was going on.
Yeah.
How was your Mercury Retrograde?
Also terrible. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
I cried a lot. I had a lot of brain fog.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah. Someone told me I looked gray, which new insult. Thank you, Sosha.
So mean.
Sosha's actually a listener, so thanks.
Sosha, that's a good one. Good burn.
Yeah.
Suck it, Kristin.
Yeah, I was having a rough day and she's like, you look gray. And I was like, I'll just die now. I guess. Never have I ever considered murder so much, actually plotting it out in my head. All in all, bad time. Not great. Not great. Was this all because of Mercury Retrograde? Maybe. Was I also overworked, not sleeping well due to heat, not drinking enough water? Was it Friday the 13th? Was it a blood moon? Was it the additional stress of buying a house in a hyper-competitive market? Was it the stress of global warming slowly destroying the planet? Was it the stress of working in a healthcare system that doesn't value patient care and consistently values business and treats people like a business rather than human beings and doesn't think that healthcare is right and having to deal with that every day when you walk into work? Also could be.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe, but I'd like to blame it on Mercury retrograde.
I suspect Mercury.
Yeah. And then, so I was taking a good ponder, thinking about it, being like, what is Mercury? We always talk about Mercury retrograde. I think we've mentioned it multiple times in the podcast.
Yeah, we like to talk about it.
I didn't know what it was. I was like, it's a silly thing, but it's kind of a thing, and I'm going to tell you about it.
And it's not silly.
Yeah, it's not silly. It's like a real thing that happens. Okay, let's get our science hats on, okay? Mercury is the first planet from the sun, right?
Yep, I knew that.
We are number 3.
Yep.
Correct?
I did know that.
Okay. 2 for 2 right now.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Got that first one.
In between, there's Venus, but that one's not important to our subject today.
Forget about Venus.
Yeah. It takes Mercury about 88 days to go around the sun, I believe. It takes Earth 365, unless it's a leap year. So a couple times a year, Mercury will lap the Earth because it's going around the sun, has a smaller route to go, you know?
Yeah.
And from Earth, it looks like Mercury is moving away from us, whereas all the other planets we're all going together. And when Venus does this too, but we don't care about that.
And we never will.
So Mercury will lap Earth, and that's moving away from us, and that's where we get the phrase Mercury in retrograde, because it looks like it's going away from us rather than coming with us. Yes. Okay. So that's our astronomy hat. And let's switch hats to our astrology hat. Put it on.
Right. Zoop, zoop, zoop,
yep.
zoop.
There you go. So Mercury, per astrology / the internet, is the planet of communication. And during Mercury in retrograde, our communication gets fucked.
Is that the technical term?
Yeah. I read it in a book.
All right, well.
Communication is fucked. And this could be between you and a partner. It could be between coworkers, friends, even yourself, what you're telling yourself. You said technology is...
Yes, it also impacts technology.
Which is a major source of communication.
It's all related.
All that's pretty much fucked. And what the internet is recommending from the 3 sources / Instagram links I clicked on. Give yourself some extra time this Mercury in retrograde. Don't overwork yourself and overload yourself with work or tasks, even emotionally taxing tasks. Give yourself a break. And I think whether you're into astrology or not, I think it's important to kind of take this to heart, especially for those in the neurodivergent community, to consider the value of communication, whether you're communicating your own needs to yourself or your own needs to others. Take breaks, drink your water, pre-pee if you need to. Take care of yourself. Fucking sucks.
That is good advice for the next Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
Because this will be coming out on the last day of this one.
Oh, shit. Right? Well,
that's good advice for us right now.
Yeah.
Because
get ready you'll be ready for September then.
Is that the next one?
I think so.
Are there 3 a year or 4 a year?
It's about 3 is what I read. But now I gotta make sure. I gotta make sure.
All right. Insert elevator music.
In 2022, it happens 4 times.
Knew it.
Yeah. And it's only because the last one kind of ends right at the new year. So January 13th to February 3rd was the first one. The one right now is May 10th to June 2nd. The next one's going to be, we get a big break.
Yes.
September 9th to October 1st. And then December 28th to January 18th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
right. Mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I got for Mercury in retrograde. Take care of yourself.
I strongly suspect that, and I'm sure there's stuff that I can read about this, but I'm just going to
wing it.
Have this off the top of my head.
Usually we have sources.
Yes.
Today,
but
not so much.
Just like how the full moon affects neurodivergent people more deeply, the moon phases have more of an impact on neurodivergent people because we have those sensitive central nervous systems and because we are impacted by emotional changes, sensory changes, environmental changes, like even more so. I very strongly suspect that Mercury retrograde is the same thing, where it just like, because we kind of do have those sensitive, somewhat fragile central nervous systems, it doesn't take as much to like disrupt us. And we also are more disrupted by energy shifts. So especially if you're neurodivergent, take it double easy out there because this one's a bitch. And even as this episode comes out, you're probably still recovering. The energy doesn't just like disappear. It still lingers for like a week or two before and after. So yeah, all the things that Kristin said.
Yeah. And like I said, you don't have to believe in astrology. I thought it was interesting, but I think it is important to understand, your own needs and how you communicate towards others of those needs, and make sure you take time for yourself. Make sure you stop to take time for others who are trying to communicate those needs, because maybe they're also having a difficult time.
Yes, that's a good point. And yeah, just keep in mind that miscommunications will be happening. So kind of like go on the defense a little bit. Not like get defensive, but just like
punch
be aware
them
of
in
it.
the face before they can punch you.
The second they open their mouths, just like
be
kick
like,
them
"Fuck
in the
you!"
nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to say and you're wrong. Yeah. All right. Should we
transition?
Yeah. I've been waiting a lifetime for a moment like this.
For a moment like this,
some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. Oh, sorry. Were you
I was going to ad-lib, but then I lost steam.
Oh, sorry. I really overpowered you there.
No, that's okay. We had a miscommunication.
It's the retrograde.
Oh, my God.
Oh, should we do a retrograde themed transition?
Oh, heck yeah. Okay.
Should we just sing the whole CYY astrology song? I wish I remember the whole thing.
This is the dawning of Aquarius, even though it's the dawning of Mercury in retrograde.
Yes. This is the dawning of the Mercury in retrograde. Mercury in retrograde. She asked me if I can.
I don't think I do, but I don't think we can. I don't want to get sued. We gotta ask.
Get sued.
We're gonna ask Jessica Champleshire about that one.
All right. We'll consult her.
We gotta consult our lawyer. All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back from that odd transition.
That in some ways was not a transition at all.
The oddest one yet.
Well, I don't know if I would go that far. It's up there, though.
It's up there. And we're back.
And like we said earlier, we are back. And we are coming back we're coming in hot, we're coming in fast, we're coming in rapid.
Fire recall. Is that how it goes?
Yes.
DJ Khaled! Right? That's what we do?
We're the best! Yeah. Another one. And speaking of another one, let's get that rapid fire recap going.
Rapid fire recall. This is for all of you who rapid fire recall recap.
Okay.
No, was that not the title of it?
Rapid fire recap. Or recapping.
Oh, okay. I added a word there.
Yeah, you really did.
Whoops, doodles.
That P looked like two L's, I guess.
Yeah.
As we said up top, we wanted to just give a little kind of summary, a little recall recap, if you will, of all of our episodes in case you either don't want to go back and listen to all of them, or you just need a little refresher, or you're kind of like jumbling all around. Either way. All right, real fast recap. What have we done so far in our 20-some episodes?
Yeah, this is episode 22, right? Not including the bagel bites.
Yes, so really this is episode 28.
Whoa.
Wow. We are just seasoned vets at this point, aren't we?
Sure are.
Feels like a lifetime.
For a moment like this.
I was just about to say that. All right, let's do a recap. This podcast started with episode 1, That Old Chestnut, where we both talk about our backgrounds and personal ADHD journeys. And at the same time, we are learning how to podcast. So it's not going to be the best episode you've ever heard by a long shot. And in fact, it may be one of the worst.
Probably.
But it is there for the taking if you insist.
It's my least favorite. How about that?
We haven't gone back to listen to it once.
Not once.
I don't want to.
It was a one and done. Yep.
I'm sure it's fine, but I've built it up too much in my mind. It's too cringy and I can't. And I won't.
Cringe.
I'm sure it is.
I don't know, actually. I've only listened to it once.
If it's cringe, don't tell us. Please just let us live in this bubble.
It's our first time.
And if it's not cringe, we won't believe you. We'll still think it's cringe.
Yep.
So don't even try. All right.
Yep.
From that point on, I like to think that our podcasting gets better as we go, but we also become more and more unhinged. So
It's like day drinking.
kind of a trade-off. Yeah, it gets more fun,
Yeah.
but it also gets
More
crazy.
hinged until 6 o'clock and you need a nap.
Yep. Sometimes we cover ADHD topics and we dive into research articles. Sometimes we're talking about the ups and downs of day-to-day life with ADHD. And other times it's just a real grab bag of whatever we feel like talking about in that moment, even if what we feel like talking about is rat kings during a needle pointing lesson for
Ooh.
some reason.
We probably should have done a content warning on that one for John.
All right,
who was
John, here's a
emotionally scarred.
post
Sorry.
rat kings mention content warning.
Yeah.
Don't listen to what we just said.
Yep.
Block it from your mind.
Sorry, John.
I'm not
Whoops.
really sorry. This is reality. You're going to have to encounter rat kings. What if you encounter a rat king one day, John? Will you be prepared to face that rat king?
No one's prepared to face a rat king. Those things are terrifying.
Imagine that thing just like spinning towards you.
Oh my God. I think I would instantly vomit. I have a
That's their
habit.
That's their plan. You do.
Yeah.
Just exorcism, vomit
Just-
onto them.
Blip.
Also on this podcast, sometimes we share ADHD tips, around 60% of which are sarcastic because we don't have very many actual ADHD management
We're actually
strategies.
struggling quite a bit.
Yep.
both of
and
us.
We're both kind of just like winging it.
Yeah.
And we probably should have more strategies, but we don't. So most of them are just like smart-assy, kind of sarcastic.
Sometimes they're really very helpful.
Yeah, sometimes they're a good workaround, and other times they're like develop an anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
And
That's my favorite. It works.
it does the job.
It does it.
Also on this podcast, we do lots of fun segments that sometimes change, sometimes they stay the same, and sometimes we say we're going to change them, and then we don't. Look at that. And sometimes we say we're not going to change them, and then we do.
Yep.
You never really know exactly what you're going to get with this podcast, but if it makes you feel any better, neither do we.
Consistently inconsistent, I would say.
Yes,
is a
that's
good.
one of our catchphrases.
Yep. Yep.
Along with get a pen,
Get a pen and
bird cries.
Yeah, the bird
Just like
calls.
bird noises.
Yeah.
That's another one of our catchphrases.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
In the next episode, hopefully, we'll see, we'll be doing a review of all of our segments and what each one entails. So you will have a refresher of what our segments even mean and what they are.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go back. Sometimes we teach about our hobbies of Christmas past, present, and future that we have picked up and possibly discarded as well along the way. So far, we have covered bonsais, needle pointing, wine culture, podcasting, indoor rock climbing, skiing. And is that it?
I feel like there's more there, but this is a solid list.
Let's say that's it.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
yeah.
That's all we've got
and
so
that's
far.
it. So you can go back and learn about those if you want to try out any of those hobbies.
Right. We also encourage you to send in your own hobbies if you want us to cover them or if you want us to talk about them. We are always interested in new hobbies.
Yes, write us in.
Can't have enough hobbies.
All right, what else have we done on WOF so far? Oh, big talking point. Kristin was in cat therapy for a while.
Yep. We're doing much better now, but cat therapy is an ongoing process, as they say.
They do say that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of maintenance.
Grace went through a baby crawling phase for a bit.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about it any further.
Okay, we won't. We talked about a butler analogy that we reference a lot, so it feels important to mention. Essentially, butlers are your executive function, and ADHD brains have shitty butlers. You can go back and listen to episode 10, Legend of the Hidden Butlers, to learn more about this in-depth analogy that we have.
We have also had some great guests on the podcast so far. Ian watched a birthday party through a window in episode 4, and he taught us how to fly fish. That's my husband.
Elena kicked a kid in the shins in episode 17 and taught us how to crochet.
Karen shit in a river in episode 19.
I forgot Karen shit in a river.
Sorry, Karen. and taught us how to care for plants.
Nice. Forgot she shit in a river. Christopher hides from the law under his alias Trevor Sinclair in episode 21 and doesn't teach us anything because we talked for too long and had to cut his hobby collector segment out. But in the future, he'll teach us about sculpting.
And
Maybe.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe. It's there.
Yeah. So that's a little summary of our episodes. I know we're leaving out a lot, but none of it is really that important. We probably have some ongoing jokes that you might be like, wait a minute, where did this come from? But just know that some of those, you might be hearing them for the first time and they seem confusing, but that's just because they're out of nowhere and they're confusing. And we want to wrap up this episode. What are we referring to this episode as? A housekeeping episode?
A housekeeping formatisode.
Housekeeping formatisode.
Was that wasn't it? Okay, wait,
no,
wait.
it's nice and smooth.
Housekeeping-isode. House format. episode.
House format.
House
House-isode.
music format. The house-isode.
The house-isode. It makes a lot of sense.
I like the housekeeping format-isode.
Okay, we'll keep...
It rolls off the
it's
tongue.
It's a working
there.
title. It's
it
a working
rolls
title.
off the tongue. It rolls off the tongue.
Okay, it rolls off the tongue.
Housekeeping format-isode. It's perfect.
We are going to wrap up this housekeeping format-isode with just kind of a rapid fire of other buzzwords from topics that we've covered in the last 20-something episodes, just so you kind of know the lingo of the podcast, you know? So you feel like you're really like in the nest with us.
Also, you know, sometimes people get offended with things like cannibal fish and stuff. So we want to just ease you into it.
Yes. So you know that these might be some terms or...
Maybe not offended, but like...
Upset.
Shocked. Taken aback.
Taken aback, yes.
Yes. So we just ease you into it. Dip your toes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, a few buzzwords from us. We got rat queens.
We got dope as in dopamine.
Coughing sack.
Hash brownie baby cakes.
Clam jail.
In all caps.
Yes.
Meat candles.
Magical thinking.
Mouth sounds.
Milkshake springs.
Tuppies.
Cannibal fish.
Hedgehog terrarium.
Chef Santa.
It's more like Chef Santa.
Chef Santa. No, we can't go down that road right now.
Productive Mary.
Horse train meet cute.
Whoops-a-doodles.
Butt pop.
Surprise bishop.
Squirrel trauma. And I realized we left out synchronized night boat.
Oh,
that's our podcast band.
That's our podcast band. Our fictitious.
No, fictionist. You got it right.
Fiction.
You got it on the first take?
Yeah.
Our fictionist band that has actually turned into kind of like a real band.
A real band that hasn't recorded anything yet.
When does a fake band become a real band? There's something to ponder.
Ponder this.
Ponder that. And yeah, great. Now you are all caught up. And you don't have to listen to episode 1.
Right. But listen to our future episodes because we appreciate it. And if you like our episodes, you should review them 5 stars only.
Yes.
And
that's all we accept.
Maybe leave a review because we read them and we enjoy them. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Weirds of a Feather. You can follow us on TikTok at Weirds of a Feather. And you can email us at weirdsofeather@gmail.com.
Yep. We love to hear from our listeners, and we appreciate you guys sticking with us through thick and thin.
Through Mercury retrogrades and Mercury anterogrades.
Oh, I was going to say just regular Mercury. Yeah.
I think antegrade, not anterograde. I added a syllable.
Yeah. Or regular Mercury.
Antegrade Mercury, which is the regular Mercury.
Okay. It never just stays still.
We appreciate you sticking through all phases of Mercury.
No matter where
you
Mercury
believe in
may
the
be.
planets or not.
I firmly do not believe in planets.
That's for our flat Earth listeners. Wait,
planets
do flat
are made
Earthers believe in astrology?
No.
They don't.
So
if you find a flat earther and they're like, I'm a Pisces, you have to say that it's wrong, right?
Well, actually, I think that I'm not sure where they stand on astrology. I'm guessing no, they don't believe in it because they're very upset about aliens. They are upset about the concept of aliens. Because how does that work into their world?
It doesn't because it's a fake world.
So if you just pretend, no, that's not happening, aliens don't exist, planets don't exist, then like look how safe you are in your little mind.
In your little bubble.
You're all that matters. You're so important in the universe.
To our flat Earth listeners.
Fuck off.
Well, no, we have to. I have so many fucking questions.
You're right. We want to keep you around for science purposes.
Yeah, I
study you.
I have so many questions, but my one question to you today is, what's your sign?
Tell us, or are you upset by that question?
Are you upset if I say, what's your sign? Are you going to say, I'm a Gemini? Or are you going to say, fuck you, I don't believe in planets?
It's a weird stance to take, but I guess I never really contemplated.
Right, because
if
the
they
whole
believe
point
in
of
planets.
astrology is that the planets, they're like rotating at a certain, around the sun, not around the earth. And it's kind of based on science, kind of.
Well, they're not working from science, so that doesn't matter to them.
They're working by what they feel.
In their hearts.
Which is fake.
Yeah.
Do they believe in anatomy? I mean, if you don't believe in one science, why would you believe in another science?
I was going to say, I don't know why they wouldn't, but yes, I do. I know why they wouldn't, because they're just like denying that science is real.
Right. It's like when people don't believe in vaccines, yet they drive cars and they're like, I don't believe in science. And I'm like, you obviously do because you drive a car, which relies on the same math and science as creating a vaccine.
And that's just a little clip from our segment called Things We Rant About. It's just a little
Things
example.
that get you really angered. It doesn't even make any sense. You can't just pick and choose what science you want to believe in. If you want to believe in cars and airplanes, then you have to believe in vaccine science.
And that's kind of the tone of this podcast. It's just that right there.
Yeah.
So if you like this and you're on board for these random rants, as we should be like wrapping up the podcast, but instead we're talking about, do flat earthers believe in planets?
Yeah.
So just if you like this tone and you're like, yeah, all right, I can see where they're coming from, stick with us. And if you're like, wow, this seems like an overwhelming podcast, it's kind of all over the place, I guess you can just piss off.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Piss right off. Yeah.
Just piss right off.
Next week we'll be back with a kind of more regular episode of just segments, correct?
So, all right, here's the problem. Not only are we coming back from this break trying to introduce a new format, but this episode is not that new format. This is like a different new format. That's just a one-time format.
A one-time format.
To let everyone know the format is changing.
Yeah.
Next episode will also not be our new format because we recorded the episode. This is the 2 hour and 20-minute episode that we recorded before the break. It's actually kind of what inspired the break.
Yep. About hiking.
Yes.
It's a hobby collector episode.
Yes. But we just did the regular old format, that boring old stupid format that we have nothing to do with anymore. Forget about that format.
It wasn't boring. It was magical thinking. We just thought we could do everything and we can't.
Yep. So, but we already recorded a regular episode from before the break, before the Mercury Retrograde. So we're just going to cut that in half.
And go for it.
And we're just going to go for it. So that'll be, the first half will be whatever our bullshit is. And the second half will be whatever the other bullshit is.
The rest of the bullshit.
The rest, follow-up bullshit.
Yeah, it's going to be hopefully about hiking. Maybe that will be part 2, but we'll let you know. And then going forward, we'll have like more consistent episodes.
Yes, we'll try to stick more to our new format,
which is always revolving.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not this format, so not this one.
So not this one.
Don't get tricked.
This is a weird episode. It's not even a bagel bite, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's kind of just like a liminal space episode.
Yeah. Ambiguous. The ambigusode.
I
like
limbicode.
Limbic system-sode?
Yes.
No. I don't like that.
Ambiguous. Limisode.
What about the...
Sounds like it's an episode about limousines.
The astral plane episode.
Ooh.
I don't think
maybe.
that fits.
We'll work on it.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
You'll know it in the title.
You'll just read the title and then you'll know what the title is.
Yeah. So once again, thanks for sticking with our bullshit. We're back. Feisty as ever.
Oh, yeah. We're coming in hot. Coming in jazzy.
Mercury in retrograde has made us stronger, better than ever.
Look how strong
you wouldn't
we
know
are.
it, but we are strong.
You should see our calves.
Yep.
Yeah. And we will talk to you next episode.
Nice. Like, subscribe, follow, do all the things.
Yep. All right.
And email us your sign. I want to know.
Yeah. Flat earthers especially, reach out.
Especially, but you don't have to be a flat earther. I just want to know. We're taking a poll.
No, you have to convert to flat earther.
No. Don't. No. No.
And then tell us your sign.
No.
Fine, you don't have to convert, but
you
it would be nice.
Tell us your sign, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
You want to
get the fuck out of here?
Squawk us out here?
Yeah, let's squawk it.
All right.
That was alarming.
Oh, I like that sounded like a turkey getting strangled.
That's exactly what it was.
You're very good.
Thank you.
It's like a lamb and a turkey together. A lamb turkey, a lurkey.
Or a tam.
Tam.
What are other birds that we're not considering?
There's quite a few.
You got your duck. Ooh. It's a pack. What's a pack of ducks called?
A
Duck pack.
flock.
No, I thought that was geese. Are they both flocks?
No, they're flocks.
Flock of ducks?
I guess so.
Are they all? But all bird groups aren't called a flock.
Really? Name one bird group that's not a flock. Oh, rafter.
A murder of crows.
A murder of
A
crows.
gaggle of geese.
A gaggle of
so maybe
geese.
Is it a flock of ducks?
Rafter of turkeys.
There you go. So you're naming some. Oh, the flamingo. What's flamingo? It's really weird. It's a fun one. We need to be ending this podcast.
No, we don't. We keep going.
All right, insert elevator music here. Flamingo. A mustache of flamingos.
Flamboyance.
Yes, that's it. What it is. Flamboyance.
Now I gotta do ducks.
We really are coming back stronger than ever, aren't we?
Oh, okay. Ducks have multiple. Okay, when in flight.
They have different names for in flight
Yes.
versus It's kind of like how your lap only exists when you're sitting.
That's what?
Your lap only exists when you're sitting.
You know when you discover a new thing and now that's all you could think about? You're totally correct.
Right?
Yes. Oh wow, my mind is blown.
All right,
back to ducks.
What are they called in the air?
Okay. A group of ducks can be referred to as either a raft or a paddling in the water.
Raft.
On the ground, a group of ducks can be called a waddling, a battling,
what?
Or a badling.
That's crazy.
Which is a common term to describe a brood of ducks.
Brood.
How about when they're in the air? Oh my god, there's so many.
What are ducks called when they're in the air?
What are a group of flying ducks called?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's making this up. A skein.
A skein?
Or flock. But here are all the names. I'm going to read them off. Ready?
Yep.
A company of ducks, a daggle of ducks, a diving of ducks, a dopping of ducks, a fleet of ducks, a flock of ducks, a flock of ducks, a flight of ducks, a flush of ducks, a game of ducks, a gang of ducks, a gathering of ducks, a knob of ducks, a leash, which is 3 ducks.
What?
Specifically.
Why do you need a term for specifically 3 dogs?
A loot of ducks.
That's gotta be 10 or more.
Ducks, a pack of ducks, a pair of ducks. I'm guessing that's 2. A party of ducks. That's when it's bumping.
6 or more.
A plump of ducks. That's when they're particularly fat. A pride of ducks, but pride spelled with a Y.
That's when they're gay.
Yeah. A puddle of ducks.
Oh my god. A puddle of ducks is the best.
It's like a puddle of mud covered in.
I was just thinking about that.
Oh man. A paddling of ducks, a safe of ducks, a skein of ducks, a smeeth of ducks, a sword of ducks, a sword spelled differently of ducks, a sore of ducks. That's when a duck bites you and you get a sore.
I'm just going to fade this off. I hope I realize.
A sore of ducks, a string of ducks, a souse of ducks, a suit of ducks, a team of ducks, a trip of ducks, a wabbling of ducks, a wedge of ducks. That's when they're in a tight corner. I think that's it.
That sounded like a children's book.
Oh my god.
You could write that into a Dr. Seuss book.
It's so many duck names. I'm going to email myself that source so we can, it's called birdfact.com.
Bird fact. Quack, 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 quack. All right, and I'm going to end it there.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Wow.